Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for watching the Hot Conflict video series. My name is Salim Siddiqui, and we're continuing to talk about the great Muslim celebration, or the great Eid al-Akbar. As you know, that Muslims all over the world are gathered together today and praying with their families, gathered all over the world to bow their heads and worship to the Lord, all praying to the Lord Most High towards Mecca, the holy house in the Arabian Peninsula that Abraham and Ishmael built to worship the one true Lord. And even to this day, Muslims from all over the world are gathered together and go there to make the annual pilgrimage that is known as the Hajj. And so we're telling the story and explaining why this celebration is a great celebration that the Muslims still do, and explaining to you, the listening audience, the relevance of these things that you're seeing around you right now, or watching on this very video, in a way that you've never heard before. For the first time in the English language, you are being told the story of the truth. And it's being done in a way that has never been done before. And so, of course, we have to say that we're getting to some very strange parts in the story, and I always try to give a little bit of a disclaimer, and I'm going to continue to rush through this disclaimer. Go back and listen to what I've said before, because if you're listening to the story, you want to know what's going to happen in the end. You want to know where the story goes. You want to hear the whole story and be able to digest it and listen to it and say, oh my God, either that was the most incredible truth I've ever heard, or that was false. But I'm going to prove everything to you in your own way so that you can verify it. Because the truth is such a strange thing that once it's really told, it can't be misproven. It can't be denied. It could be ignored by those who wish to ignore the light. And that's an unfortunate truth. We said that there are certain fundamentals of faith that what, above all else, must always remain true and always never be forgotten. There is only one God. La ilaha illallah, as we say in Arabic. There's only one God. God created the angels, the jinns, mankind. Mankind as the most superior race. Mankind lives and dies, and our soul that was breathed into us lives on for all eternity. And all of this is the plan of the Lord. And we said that we have gotten so far in the tale that we must be coming to a point where we have a final messenger. And we must see in the signs of the final messenger something that shows us clearly what is the end of the story. That his messengership and the law and the word that he comes in must be so clear that we all know the truth of the light, telling the truth of the story of what happened to not just you or me or who call themselves Muslims, but as we've maintained throughout this story in remembering the fundamentals, that I am no greater than anybody else or have no superior wisdom. All I know is the truth of the light. I am like any one of you, a son of Adam. And we've said, as we've gone through the story of the sons of Adam and this war that Adam reminded us of between our race and the other races of jinn, or interdimensional beings, or aliens. Yes, you've never been told the story like this. But it is a battle between darkness and light. And we got to this story where we were saying that the final prophet had gone on a miraculous event. Isra wal Mi'raj. The night travel, where he traveled from Medina on an animal by his body and traveled to the holy city of Jerusalem. And why that is important, go back to the other videos and all the way to the story of Solomon and the building of the great house of God that Solomon built. As we've always referred to all of the bearers of the light as true and noble prophets, and the truth can never be denied by anyone who understands the story. And so we said, we as Muslims say Islam means submitting to the truth of the light. And a Muslim is one who submits that way. And that is what the messenger of God, the final messenger, told us. And so what continued to happen is on his night journey, he prayed and led the prayer of all the prophets and bearers of the light. And it was after that moment that they shook each other's hands and hugged each other and embraced. Oh, what a beautiful thing. Can you imagine such a glorious occasion? But then, as I told you in this tale that you're listening to the first time in the English language, the story must get stranger. It is at this point that we say that the prophet ascended. No one has ever done this before. Ascend like only the last prophet of God, Jesus, son of Mary, had done. As we know in the story, listen back to it, that Jesus, son of Mary, ascended. It is at this point that Gabriel told the prophet Muhammad, you are going to ascend. No son of Adam had ever done this. This indeed is a noble, miraculous sign. But oh, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. Because the truth of the story is there. That unlike Jesus, son of Mary, who ascended, and as we said, the fundamentals are always true, that all sons of Adam live and die, that Jesus, son of Mary, ascended and was not killed or crucified in the cross, because we know he shall return and live out the rest of his days, as all sons of Adam do, and one day God will choose to take his soul, as all sons of Adam must die, to go on to the next life of eternity, that the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ascended. And as the tale that I'm telling you is strange and miraculous, it is that he returned and told us some of the things that I'm telling you today. So what happened to the prophet when he ascended? When I told you I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm not going to hold back. On his ascension journey, they tried to lie to you about Islam, and you are being misdirected and deceived. They tell you Islam is some strange religion from the Arab countries. We don't really know what it means. They say that Allah maybe is some strange pagan god or a moon god, and we don't know what that means. And they tell you the Prophet Muhammad is probably not a true prophet and nothing to do with any of the noble line, and to ignore it. We don't know what any of that means. Yet I'm telling you a story, and it is so strange. And you are finding yourself listening no matter what your faith is. The story of the truth of the final messenger must be the truth for all mankind. So listen what happened to the prophet on his journey. He ascended to the heavens. Oh, believe it, ladies and gentlemen, he ascended to the heavens, and on his journey, he saw the prophet Adam in the first heavens, and saw, oh my Father, peace and blessings be upon you. He also saw many of the other prophets. Moses, Noah, Joseph, Jacob, all the different prophets, even Jesus, son of Mary. As he ascended to different levels, he greeted each one of them after the prophet Adam, saying, peace and blessings be upon you, my brother. And each of them gave him salam, which means peace. As brothers, they hug each other in peace, all sons of Adam. And as the prophet ascended one level up to the next and meeting all the prophets that we've been through in this story of the chain, he got to the highest levels of the skies or the heavens. And there he found thousands and thousands of angels of the light worshiping the Lord Most High. Listen to the story because it sounds so strange. And as strange as it is, I am promising you the truth. So every little detail must show you exactly and fit so perfectly that it cannot be falsehood, as the light is always the truth. There on the highest levels, he found angels, thousands upon thousands, worshiping to a house of the Lord Most High. going around in circles to this great house that we know of is called Beit al-Ma'mur.